How's everybody doing today? This is like my take 3 on this video because the first one was horrible. The second one, I just stuck my face upside down in it. That was hilarious. I am brand new to YouTubing. I have never made my own videos before. A couple of days ago, I made one for the first time. I unboxed a Temu order, made my first video. I had fun. It was great. I just don't know what I'm doing per se. I've always used YouTube, searched YouTube, found things on YouTube. I'm a huge crafter. I like everything from diamond art now. I only just started that a month ago and I love it. I'm a little obsessed. My Cricut, I sew really well. There's some bags I want to learn how to make, but we recently just moved. A few months ago, and I gave up a lot of my furniture from my old house that I was renting because it was tiny and it seemed so cluttered. So we were like, oh, well, we don't need these pieces. We'll just give them away. And then we moved into this, I moved into this house, I should say, and it's huge, and I have all this space, and eventually I will have my own full crafting business office room. So, should have probably kept some of it, because now I have no furniture. I have not unpacked a whole bunch of stuff, of my crafting stuff, because I have not figured out how I want to put it together, right? So, I have not done everything for that either. So I haven't been able to sew yet. I've thought about some things and I haven't been able to sew yet. So today's video, what I wanted to do, since I've already rambled too much, is I want to stain the backs of my coasters. I've got my coasters. I've got 4 left because it was an 8-pack and my first video did not come out well. These are Tree of Life coasters. I put the diamond painting on. These are the last ones I've actually done. So this is still a little sticky and damp, okay? So this is, I think they're beautiful. They're really pretty. People have been liking them. I've done hummingbirds, flowers, this Tree of Life, moons, I think. But the backs come unfinished. So this is my problem, is the backs come unfinished. And then the edges are dark, right? So I'm gonna put my, let me take my glove off. Like I said, I just ruined the first video. So let me pull my glove off real quick. It's already stuck to me because it's, I'm sweating a little bit, right? So I'm gonna take my glove off for a minute. Put my stained gloves down. So when you put your cork on here, it leaves an edge like that. This is actually a good way to show it. See the edging? And it's white, like really light wood. I don't like that personally. I have OCD, don't like it. So I'm gonna make it semi-matched here, okay? So you have it's darker on this edging here. It's much darker. That's light wood. Then you get a beautiful design. Dark and then light. And again, the corks usually fit around here that you can order. I get mine off of Temu right now. I've got them off of Amazon for my square coasters. Love the ones from Amazon. My Temu ones are kind of thin. I didn't pay attention to the description. They do have thicker ones as well, though. So you just got to pay attention to what you're ordering. And I put them on. And it leaves that edge I don't like. So we're going to stain it today. Americana gel stains is amazing. These are little surfaces. I mean, look at, they're in my hand. It's a little surface. This isn't a big desk like we've refinished, and I've done that. And you use a big can of stain, and it's a pain in the butt. You get the stain. You have to pop the tops open. You have to make sure those tops go back on. They're paint cans, right? So really a pain. I discovered this by accident online. Americana gel stains. I only have walnut right now. I think it came in 3 or 4 colors. Love this stuff. I got mine at Hobby Lobby for $1.99. I think it was like 20% off because they do that paint sale thing, and these are usually considered part of the paint department too, so they usually take it off. If not, $2 is really not a big deal, okay? I live in a state that borders a state that doesn't have taxes, and all my shopping centers are within a mile of my home. I'd say a mile, maybe 2. I think it's a mile, maybe 2 miles of my home, and they're all in the other state. So it is tax-free for me in this state, but if I did this in my own state, I would have to pay my taxes. So it would be $1.99 plus 6.25% or whatever. Still really affordable, right? I only have walnut. I think it came in cherry, walnut, birch maybe? I don't know. We're gonna just do this though, jump right in. So you need this. You need a short. I like the short. I don't remember what kind of bristle this is. It just came in a package of cheap brushes, but I don't like the nylon bristles or the natural bristles for this. I like this. I don't know if they called it Taklon, maybe. I do have stain already on it, so excuse that, because like I said, I messed up my first video. So, yeah, I like the shorter bristles too, so I had a longer brush, and I didn't like it because it seemed too long for my surface. Maybe if I was doing a longer piece of wood, it wouldn't be so bad, but this stuff is amazing. Let's just jump into it. Let's show you how this works. I'm reusing my gloves. I just discovered I do have a hole. My fingernails are too long. They need to be chopped, and it did just go through my glove when I put them on today. But I'm reusing these because there's no need not to. I mean, I'm just staining them. They dry, so they were dry when I started. Need a rag, okay? This is the same rag. I've already done 2 sets of 8 coasters. We're on to the next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stain. I want to make sure that's not a... I did have a fuzz on here. Hold on. Had a little... Looked like an eyelash on there. Open up my stain. This is great. I'm going to dampen my brush. So I'm going to take my Solo cup. It's all just a Solo cup of water. I'm going to dip it in a couple, you know, push it on the bottom of the cup a little bit, get the extra old stain out. And then I'm just going to really quickly get off the water droplets. It looks like rain droplets in the cup. You can't see that probably, okay? I want to leave it a little damp. I might have just did it a little too dry. Leave it a little damp. Take my stain. This is amazing. Just squirt some on there. Look how little amount I have on there. Can you see the drops, the lines compared to the droplets? Little amount. I may even have too much. If your brush is damp, it glides beautifully. Look at that. And if your brush is dry, it's going to absorb faster into the bristles, and it's not going to spread as nicely, is the best way I can put that, okay? So when you have a damp brush with this gel stain, so quick and easy, just like that. I mean, that squirt that I put on here is actually too much. I can already tell you. Do you see the, I don't know if you can see the darker lines and stuff of the extra stain. That's too much stain. Okay, now if I was to use this dry, it would be already absorbed into it, probably. So I'm gonna try to actually see if I can take some of this excess stain off and put it on another one because I have way more than I usually do. See? How easy is that? I know I'm in my camera there. I'm just gonna take some of the excess stain off. So what the thing is, you see how messily I'm staining things? Not a big deal. Why is it not a big deal? Because it's stain, it's not paint. If you're new to this world, it is not paint. Paint, you want to do even strokes. You don't want paint marks, okay? You see the lines I left on that? I left some lines on that. You're going to take a rag and get wiping that off. So lines don't matter, okay? Because you're taking all that excess off. I can't believe how much extra I had on that one. I don't normally do that much, so I'm going to take it off because I'm just staining. I'm not painting, I'm just staining, hence the gloves. I'm pretty messy when I do this, and I don't want to, I mean, I have OCD, and I don't want to sit there and take 25 minutes to wipe that down, which I've done before, like previously. So I just want to be able to do it fast, hence the gloves, so that if they get all messy, just take them off, right? No big deal. I'm sticking to my diamond art because this was one of the last ones I did, so there's still, still a little left. See how much stain I just got out of that? Just staining it. Originally, and now with the stain, and look at it, it matches the edgings. See the difference? It just, to me, that's a difference. I don't like it. So now when I don't want to touch too much, but now when my thing's on there, I'm going to have a nice, pretty finished surface, okay, instead of unfinished raw wood. I don't like it. So I'm going to take some more stain. I'm not going to re-wet my brush yet because, like I said, I had a lot on here. I'm going to try it out. I just put a little on there. I'm just going to spread it out. Spread, spread, spread. I mean, I don't even think this takes me, maybe it takes a minute to do this. Depends how you do it. You know, if you're a messy spreader like I am, I kind of just wing it and just spread. You got to be careful. If you have good clothes on, be careful, because if you do this real fast like I do, it will splatter on you will have specks on your shirt. I've tried to get a little bit more careful with it. As you can see, I still have too much stain, which is okay. It's not as much as the last one. But I've done probably, this is my 4th or 5th coaster set, and I've got more than 3/4 of a bottle of stain left. See, damp brush works beautifully. And then if there's a few spots that are just too light, you just go back over them a little bit, okay? Just spread the stain back on it, because what happens with stain is it's not paint. I mean, it absorbs right into your product. So see, I didn't have as much excess at that time. Stain does not absorb, it absorbs into your wood, unlike paint. Paint kind of sits on your surface. It absorbs a little bit in, but stain is made to absorb into your wood, okay? So you're actually staining that surface, but you're staining the actual inside of the wood too, which is why you have to dry it off as well. It's not made to sit on top of the product. It's made to absorb into it. So look at how pretty that is as it's starting to dry already. Look at the beautiful wood grain it's got to it. Stuff is gorgeous. $2. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a couple bucks more for you. I don't know, in your place. I'm just going to get my excess stain off so I don't waste it, because why waste it? It's great. So again, gel stain in a little bottle. I think I looked inside. I want to say I've got about up to here in stain still. I mean, that's like more than 3/4 of the bottle. I don't know where it was when I started, per se, probably up here. First few I used way too much stain at first because I didn't realize how versatile and how easy this was. And then I discovered wetting my brush like this and then just getting off the excess wet like this just is great. It's amazing. Another thing you do need to know about stain is that stain needs to be sealed. So I know some people seal their painted projects and stuff, and some people don't. So depending on what you're painting and stuff, but stain has to be sealed, okay? There is no, do not seal it. I'm sure someone might argue on my video, I don't know, comments, but I'm telling you, you want to seal your stain because stain can run. So if you get it wet and stuff, it can come off. So not off, but it can leave, oh, I just did exactly what I talked about, that splatter. I just made a splatter. I don't know if you can see it right there, but I just splattered myself in my jeans. You want to seal it. You don't want your customers, if you resell stuff like I do, okay? You don't want your customers picking up their coaster that got damp on the bottom of it because someone left something wet on the table, or they had a wet, damp finger or something. You do not want them picking up their coaster and having brown fingers, okay? Or whatever the product is, whether you're making a coaster, a jewelry holder, or whatever, you don't want, see, plenty of stain. This is awesome. You don't want them to have a brown hand. They're not going to buy from you again, and they're going to recommend you to someone else, right? If they're not satisfied with their product, or the dye is coming off on them, because that's how they're going to see it. So you want to seal this. You want to seal it with a varnish or an acrylic. I don't like the acrylic. I use varnish. It's wood. Wood goes with varnish. Varnish goes with wood. It's the way I was raised. I did wood shop years ago, in school. That's how you do it. Again, a little squirpy on here. I kind of made a mess on the back of this, and that kind of stinks because usually what I'll do is I'll use it on my last coaster, but I've already done most of my coasters. So instead of leaving a mess on my tube, I just made a mess. I've done really good and not made a mess. But yeah, so you want to seal this. So you can use a brush on varnish. They have, same brand has it, Americana, or what's the paint brand there? I'm drawing a blank, but they have varnish as well. Brush it on, spray it on. I have the Kamar varnish, I believe is what it's called. I know, one of the spray varnishes from Walmart. I bought it cheap. Might have even been cheaper at Hobby Lobby. I don't know, because I had bought it a year ago. Actually, more than that now, probably two years ago, for another project I was doing, and I had plenty left over, so I do all these. Look at, I'm done in 4 coasters and what? I'm going to take that off of here now. 13 minutes. All 4 coasters, and that's with me rambling, right? So I would have been done already. But yeah, so I spray on varnish is what I've been using. I do all these. They're all done. So now I've done all 4 of my coasters. You probably should clean up your mess like I got going on here so it doesn't stick. Usually I reuse that varnish before I close it, but I didn't get a chance to this time. I only had 4 coasters to do. It's closed. I've got my, clean my brush real quick. Just, the varnish comes off so good. At this specific varnish, what I like about it is I believe it's a non-toxic one, because it is made for arts and crafts. And then I just put it in there, and look at, I'm clean already. It's clean. I'm going to take my microfiber cloth here that I have, and I'm just going to take out some of that excess water, and I'm going to lay it down over here to dry. I'm going to take my gloves off. These are probably going to go in the trash this round because, like I said, I did go through it with my fingernail. I don't know if you can see that. That's my fingernail popping through, and it looks like this one's coming through too. So I'm going to probably get rid of these this time and be done with it. So normally I would have just did that, stuck on my fingernail on that one too. Just fold them inside out. I'm going to trash these ones. I'll get a new set. So recap. Oh, I have my pup's hair on there. It was her 13th birthday yesterday. I'm a dog lover, mummy lover, puppy. She's great. 13 years old. She's amazing. She had steak for her birthday. Gel stain, wooden substrates, small substrates, amazing, right? You put it on, brush it on, damp brush works the best, spread it around, seal it after it dries. I usually let mine sit a day before I dry it. I think it's really probably dry in 4 hours. I know people take blow dryers as well to re-dry, you know, dry their paint or dry some of the things. That's absolutely fine. I wouldn't do it on super high because I think it would warp your wood because this is such thin wood. But, you know, on a medium or something, you could probably dry it a little bit more. But you want it to dry before you seal it, okay? Because you don't want uncured product underneath the seal. You want to seal it, dry it first. So I let mine sit. I take my trays. These are cheap, Dollar Tree. I know nothing's $1 anymore, but I got these as $1. I've had these for like 2 or 3 years now. I just keep reusing them for all my products. There's, excuse the noise. There's dried glue on them. When they get too bad, I'll change, you know, I'll clean them up. And I have one of those carts that has the layered trays, and I just put them on there to dry overnight. So I'm probably going to let these 2 trays sit overnight. I've got 3 trays to seal already done over on the side. So I'm just going to take them outside. I'm going to spray them with the varnish, and I let them sit at least a half an hour outside because it does stink, and I don't like the smell. So it does stink. Let it sit outside for a half an hour to an hour minimum. It depends on the humidity and the sun because it's super hot here right now and very humid. So I have to be careful when I spray. Sometimes I do it in the morning, and sometimes I have to wait till the afternoon, like later in the evening, because it's way too humid and it's not going to coat properly. So, and it's going to be sticky and nasty. So you do have to seal your stain. That is a huge, huge, huge. Seal your stain. I seal most of anything of my products, but the fronts of these, I did not seal yet. My diamond painting, I'm going to pick it up with my fingernails, I think. The Tree of Life's here. I have not sealed them yet. I'm still working on figuring out things for that. So, quick thing, I did buy this. I'm undecided on it. I had to spread it quite oddly. I don't know. I had to use a really thin paintbrush and spread it in between everything. And I still feel like, I don't know, when you seal stuff, if diamond painting, if you know anything, let me know. Leave me a comment. But what do you use? But I didn't like it because I sprayed a whole bunch of them after reading that this varnish works great on them, or acrylic, and I sprayed a whole bunch of them outside, and I could still move all my diamond dots. I didn't like it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're still supposed to be a little movable, but I thought the point was to seal them so that they locked on and they didn't come off anymore. I don't know. So we'll see what I do with these. But today's project, of course, is the staining. And look at how pretty. Can you see the coloring? See how it's marbling, like not marbling, but it's giving you that wood grain look. It's following the natural pattern where it's darker and lighter, just like a piece of really good wood. And as we know, all these little things that you buy from Dollar Tree, Temu, Amazon, these are all just little pieces of plywood, basically. Just kind of crappy wood in some ways on some things. These aren't too bad. They've got a good thickness to them, okay? They're not warping or anything, and I've done several of them, and none of them are warping once I got them wet with the stain or anything, so that's a good thing. But again, it's not expensive wood. It's not like I went and got some pine board and have this beautiful solid piece of wood. This is just cheap wood that they use for these things, okay? And it's coming out beautifully. I mean, the marbling, the way I call it marbling, but you know, the natural wood look. It looks beautiful as it's drying. So I'm going to spray this. I'm going to dry it, take the other ones outside, spray those, let that dry. I'm going to put my cork bottoms on the bottom, and then I'm going to flip them over and try to figure out how I'm going to seal them. I haven't decided on that yet, like I said. And I'm done. How easy was that? I mean, super simple. Again, favorite stuff. I think it has 3 or 4 different colors. Up here is the color where it says walnut. I was okay with that. Maybe it's birch, walnut, and cherry. I don't know. But they work amazing and easy. You can't beat this. If you're a crafter and you use a lot of these small substrates, like I use these 2 a lot. Little wooden pallets from Dollar Tree. I know if you're watching my channel, you probably use them. I use these a lot for things too, especially coasters and stuff. If you're going to use something like this, it's a pain to use the big stain and get it all over it. So if I use this little stain, it's so much easier to just spread it where I want it. I don't know. It's super simple and less messy. I don't believe I have any stain on my hands. So it's perfect. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you, but it's great. So leave me a comment. Again, brand new, rambled too much here, especially at the ending. And especially since I'm not live. I'm used to doing Facebook Live, so those, you know, you talk to people in the comments and stuff. So I'm not used to doing these. This is all new. So I would love to hear comments, questions, what you want to see. I love to do everything. So I do all kinds of things, like all the extra diamond dot drills that they call them, drills. I made my own labels on the Cricut the other day, just super quick. I just took some cheap vinyl, set up, made my own little labels real quick, printed them out, and popped them on my bottles, and then labeled them. So it's super easy. Love to do everything. What would you like to see? I'm probably just going to keep popping on and doing some little odd things like this right now until I figure out what I want to work on and get myself set up a little bit more. But I just like to try to grow my channel a bit and see what people are interested in, what types of crafts. I don't do sewing as well. I do want to try my hand at some, and I know I say too much. My best friend told me that in my last video. That's what makes her my best friend. Is she's super honest, and we love that about each other. But I definitely want to try a bunch of different things. I want to try some grocery bags, like, you know, reusable grocery totes. They're the huge rage around my area. They just took away plastic bags here, and a lot of things are paper. And in bad weather, paper does not work in a snowstorm. I'm just saying, paper does not work in a snowstorm. So I came up with, I found a pattern, and then I came up with a way to change the pattern and tweak it and change it to the size I want and stuff. And then we moved. So I haven't had a chance. So I've got to find all the different parts, because I did buy the proper insulation material. I bought the proper attachment material, and then the material for the outside. Also, it's cleanable and wipeable. I have OCD, so I do like to do things a specific way. When we did the masks for COVID, I actually ended up making some. I said I wasn't going to get involved. And a few months in, I have glasses and I couldn't stand fogging up. So I took someone else's design, their pattern, and changed it to make it my own. And I loved it. And I had so many sales because people that wore glasses thought it was great. And then I had a way to keep it on you. If you did Instacart or DoorDash or anything, you could keep it wrapped around your neck. And it was great because it just, you could just put it right back on. It was awesome. So I'm not doing my face right now, just with the projects and stuff until I get set up, like I said. So like, comment, share. Rambled too much. I don't know how to add the times on this yet. I don't think I can until I have so many viewers or something like that. My son is going to help me edit some videos and do things like that down the road. So please comment, share. You could obviously not listen to all my rambling here at the end and just shut it off by the time when I'm done and say how to do your project. So go get yourself some of this. If you do a lot of wood projects that are little, go grab some. Thank you so much for joining me, the Procrastinator. And if you could please like, share, and I will try to keep myself a little more on topic on the next video. But this was take 3, and I ran out of coasters, so I kind of had to do it again, and I can't do another retake. So we're kind of stuck with it. Have a great day, everybody. I will talk to you later.